Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. It is 12 o'clock noon on the dot. It is July 4th. And I'm going to wait a few minutes and see who is able to join me. If you're living anywhere near the state of Virginia where I live, it is incredibly hot today. I don't know let me see what the temperature is. Right now it says it's 93. Is that right? No, it's 90 degrees. 90 degrees here in the state of Virginia in the U.S., so it is going to be another scorcher. And if you live here in the U.S., it is July 4th, Independence Day here in America. If you're not here in America, I'm not sure what the equivalent is. Maybe there isn't one. Yes, it is. It's very hot. As you join me today, please let me know your first name and the city, state, or country that you are currently in, okay? I want to try to get to know everyone. I have been on vacation. I have just been taking a social media break. My platform kind of continued to post, and I tried to reply to some of the comments, but for the most part, I have taken a break, and that break actually may continue through the month of July because based on some of the things that I've been seeing, some of the energy that's out there, I'm not sure I want to come back. I'm not sure I want to come back to social media. I'm not sure I want to come back to some of what I've been seeing out there. So please come on in, join me. I'm not sure if wherever you are, if you're going to cookouts, if you're outside, if you're at the beach, if you're doing whatever it is you're doing on this holiday Tuesday, but join this conversation. This conversation right now is for my ladies, but if you are a gentleman and you want to join, please join. This is the place for us to have intelligent, educated conversation. This is not the place for you to bash other people, for you to make, wide blanket statements about people based on gender, based on race, based on whatever. This is not that place, okay? Even I don't use the word all of them, all men. I don't do that. I say a lot of men, some men, right? This is the place to have healthy conversation amongst men and women and everything in between, if there is anything else. Last I checked, there's only those two genders. But come in and get your drink. I got my drink. I got my notes. But this live here today is specifically for my ladies. I'm going to do another live tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. for the gentlemen, where I'm going to review Rich Cooper's book, The Unplugged Alpha. But right now, I am going to talk to my ladies. But gentlemen, this is definitely a book that I would encourage you to read. It is by Louise Perry, and it is The Case Against the Sexual Revolution. This book has, changed my life. I'm going to say that. But it also has lots of aha moments, lots of things I already thought, I already felt. Like it validated me in so many ways, so many ways. This book was nothing but validation for me. Ladies, it may give you an education that you haven't had prior to reading it or listening to it. But if you're like me and you're going to feel validated by some of the things you're hearing in this book, this is the wake-up call that we need, especially if we want to see things be different, if we want to see things change. I want to see things change. I am on the side of change, and I will forever be on the side of righteousness. And I've been saying this for as long as I've been alive, and I've been aware and enlightened, but I want to see things change for the better. That's what my platform is all about. My mission statement, I remember years and years ago, before I became a therapist, before, social media was a thing, and before I had this platform, one of the things I wrote down for my personal mission statement was to inspire people to be their best self. That has been my mission statement forever. Inspiring people to think critically, to have insight, to be self-reflective, and to inspire them to be their best self. That mission statement is on the wall of my studio. It has been there for years. That is what I'm about. And it is still relevant today. It is still relevant today. All right, let me just quickly welcome in some people. Welcome. Hello, Ish Batson. Welcome. Thank you. Grego Leonard. Welcome. Diamond Queen 83. Welcome. It is hot. Tracy from Sacramento. Welcome. I'm not going to get this right. Ifani, North Cyprus, welcome. Ishmael, TNT, welcome. Stephanie from Greenville, welcome. Michael from Atlanta, welcome. Renee. Okay, Renee from Stafford, Virginia, right. Yes, vacations are needed. BB Khan in Toronto, welcome. Okay, you can't buy what's, yep. All right. Okay, he said, I'm on a singles group on Facebook and the same happens. Oh. Okay, we're gonna have an educated conversation today. Mia Perez, official, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Felix from New York City, welcome. All right. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this conversation today. This is a much needed conversation for my ladies. Gentlemen, I want you to be a part of this conversation as well, because the truth of the matter is the sexual revolution has affected us all. But the reason why I think it's so important that women have this conversation, women need to have this conversation. I personally believe, and this is just my personal thoughts, that women have immense power and they are not utilizing that power to their benefit. And what is that power? It is the power of the feminine. It is the power to control what you can control, which is you. So it's not about having power over men. I'm not interested in that. I'm having power over myself. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in controlling me. I'm interested in controlling what works out best for me. That is a woman's power. And for some reason, in 2023, women have lost that message. They've lost this idea that, you know what? I need to start doing what feels best and what works out best for me. And let me just say this for people whose minds are going there, because a lot of people's minds are going there. You're thinking that that's all about women trying to get a bag and women trying to use men for money and women trying to selfishly use a man or use people. No, it is really about being authentic. It is really about taking the time and the energy and the effort to sit with yourself and to figure you out and to have that insight and self-reflection into, what do I want? What don't I want? What do I need? That's it. That's it in a nutshell, right? What do I want? What's best for me? What feels right for me? What makes logical sense to me? What do I want from, my work? What do I want from my life? What do I want from the men who come into my life? That's really what feminine power is all about, and being your authentic self. Don't do anything outside of what feels right to you, what you know is best for you. So we're going to take this chapter by chapter. Everything in this book, like I said, kind of validated what I've always known, what I've always felt. Y'all, I'm going to get some, I don't know why I should be on Do Not Disturb, but I'm going to get some notifications. So you're going to see me swipe off of them. So I apologize, but we're going to take this book chapter by chapter, and every chapter in this book. So the title of every chapter in this book, this is what is being discussed. Chapter number 1, sex must be taken seriously. Like, that speaks for itself, don't it? Sex must be taken seriously. It is not a random recreational act. It is a spiritual act. It is a binding act. And the fact that modern day society sees it as something to do. Oh, I've got an extra hour. I've got 30 minutes. Oh, I should have sex. And who I choose to have that sex with, well, it doesn't really matter. No, sex must be taken seriously. Mr. Right Bad Boy says, when you understand you, your life is so much more purposeful. Find out who you are and make the best life you can, and always remember karma. Precisely. And I just want people today to take the time out to sit with themselves, to get to know themselves, and to have real insight into them, to be self-aware, because a lot of people are not. A lot of people don't have a clue how they come off, how they present themselves, how they think, how they feel. They do not have a clue. They do not have a clue. All right, back to what we're talking about. So number one, sex must be taken seriously. All right. And the people I'm talking to now are the people who want to grow, want to change, want to be better, want to be enlightened. They want to live life a certain way. They want to live life, in my opinion, a righteous way. They want to live life very purposeful and very intentional. So I'm not talking to everybody, because some people are just, you're not going to agree. You're going to say, what's the big deal? But I might not be talking to you. Chapter number 2, men and women are different. How long have I been saying that? Men and women are biologically different, hormonally different, their brains are different, culturally, everything about them is different. And yet, it's not to say that we don't all want the same thing in some ways. It's not to say we don't all have inherent value. Our value is the same, but our nature is wildly different. We are very, very different, and that's okay. It's like our society cannot handle us saying we're different. We are different. We are culturally different. I, as an African American woman, I'm very culturally different from a woman who is not. Okay, let's see. I need to block someone. There we go. Yeah, we had there we go. All right. We had someone comment something that was completely inappropriate. I'm not sure why, but I had to block someone. My apologies. But men and women are different. And if you've been following my page for any length of time, you know I fully and 100% support that. Apparently, many studies show that men and women are only slightly different mentally. I'm not sure what those studies are, but there is a book that I have read multiple times, and I refer to that book when I'm talking about the research on that. And it's called, it's over there on my shelf, and I'm not going to get up and get it. I want to say it's called Brain Sex, or I'm gonna find it and I'll put it in the notes of this video. But there's thousands of studies that show that men and women's brains are different. So chapter number 3, some desires are bad. Some desires are bad. We live in a society right now that says that, anything goes. Anything goes. Anything we can think of, anything that we want to do, anything goes. And this book definitely pushes against that narrative. Some desires that people have are bad. Pedophilia, for one, right? If you have a desire to want to have sex with children, if you are sexually turned on by children, I think it's safe to say, last I checked, that as a culture, that's bad. That's bad. That's wrong. And there are other things that I want to believe that as a society, we believe are bad. They are wrong. And we should not have this idea that, anything goes. That leads us to number 4, loveless sex is not empowering. And again, I did a campaign last year where I set up a bunch of hashtags. One of those hashtags was save sex for love, save sex for marriage, save sex for commitment. I did a hashtag campaign where I was, just running these hashtags, trying to get people to use them. But yes, one of the hashtags was save sex for love. And I even teach the women in my coaching program. I tell them that, what? I want you to start letting men know that in your mind, sex is for people who love each other. Sex is for people who are committed or exclusive or married or engaged or whatever your standard is. But I believe, and I've told a man this, where he said, yeah, come over to my place and I find you attractive and, we can do this and we can do that. Oh, okay. So you love me. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, well, in my mind, sex is for people who love each other. Sex is for people who care about each other and they love each other and they are exclusive and committed. So I guess that's what you want with me. And he said, well, no, I didn't say all that. Okay, well, that's what I believe. That sex is a powerful, loving, committed act. And, back in my day, we called it making love. We didn't even call it sex. Now everyone says sex, but it was called making love, And so, yeah, that must mean that you love me. But that will, give some clarity to a man, ladies, if you actually say that. I believe sex should be saved for people who love each other. I believe the sex act should be between people who are committed and who love each other and who, want to be together. That will give a man, that'll slow things down and give a man a chance to really think about that, right? Loveless sex is not empowering, ladies. There is nothing empowering about, quote unquote, having sex like a man, right? You've seen it. You've seen people say that. You've seen, I can have sex like a man. I can have sex without feelings. That's not a flex. That's not a good thing. And there's nothing empowering about giving your precious body. That's one of the most precious things a woman has to a man who doesn't love you, to a man who doesn't care about you, to a man who's not invested in you, who's not committed to you, who's not exclusive with you, and who's not married to you. That's not a flex. That's not a flex. So yes, loveless sex is not empowering. And I definitely want us as women in 2023, I want us to start embracing that. I want us to have a higher standard that says, yes, I'm willing to make love to the man who loves me. I'm willing to make love to the man who's committed to me, who's invested in me, who cares about me, who wants to marry me or is married to me. Yes, I want that to be our new standard. Chapter number 5, consent is not enough. So chapter number 5 ties into chapter number 3, that some desires are bad, because this idea that anything goes as long as there is consent, right? So in this chapter, she talked quite a bit about the BDSM community and the choking and the hitting and the slapping and the degradation that women will often, they'll be a part of, all because they have consented, right? That if as long as there is consent, that goes along with the whole loveless sex. So as long as there is consent, it's all good. We're consenting adults. It's all good, right? Is it? Is it the ability to degrade someone, the ability to hurt someone physically? As long as there's consent, that's all good? No. Some desires are bad. And ladies, if you can be with a man who can physically hurt you, who can choke you, slap you, I like this. Oh, this is cool. This is great. And that man can, maintain an erection while doing those things to you. That's a very dangerous man. That's a very dangerous man. That says a lot about him. This ties into chapter 6. Violence is not love. A lot of us believe that we are in these relationships with men, and it can be violence from our end. It can be violence from their end. So a lot of us believe that this is passion, right? That if we're hitting each other and we're destroying each other's property and we're doing all these crazy things, that's the passion of the relationship. Violence is not love, and it never will be. Okay? There is nothing cool about fighting each other, hitting each other, destroying each other's property, yelling, screaming, cursing each other out. There's nothing cool about that. That will never be a display of genuine, real love. I want you to really, really think about that. Violence is not love. Chapter 7, people are not products. This chapter talks all about our dating app culture and how now we are treating human beings like products to consume, right? We are treating dating apps like a catalog that we can just flip through and we can swipe, and we're just, all we have to go on is a person's picture and a few descriptive words. Maybe they have a video, or maybe they have a voice that, they have this new thing on Hinge where you answer a question through like a voice note. But honestly, that really doesn't tell us anything about that person, doesn't tell us anything about their character, doesn't tell us anything about their past, doesn't tell us anything about their trauma, their childhood, their family, nothing. And yet we're expected to treat people like products, right? And here's what I find so interesting about dating apps. Okay, if you want to treat people like products to be consumed, then where are the reviews? Where are the reviews on this person? That might actually be kind of cool. Maybe if you added a feature to dating apps that lets the last 5 people that this person has dated, or the last 5 people that this person's been in a relationship or been married to, maybe that'd be a cool feature. Let those people leave reviews on this person. Let those people tell us, the consumer, what is this person really like? What is this person like to be in a relationship with them? What is this person like to be married to them? Maybe friends could leave a review. Maybe the person's children could leave a review. Maybe their mother or father could leave a review. But most definitely, the last 5 people that they have been in relationship with. And you want to do a star system like on Amazon. Okay, is this person 5 stars, 4 stars, 1 star? And then leave a written review of what dating this person is actually like. So yeah, that would be a very interesting feature if we want to continue to utilize dating apps. Because one of the things about dating apps is it really doesn't tell us anything about that person's character, their morals, nothing. It's like looking at a picture in a catalog. And you're going to flip through, oh, I like this. Okay, yes, swipe right. And there is no way, there's no vetting system. One of the main reasons why I really discourage women, especially from doing app dating, is there is no vetting system at all. You have no idea who this person is, who their people are. You're not, getting any sort of reviews. At least if you meet a person in real life and you actually meet those people's people, or if you're introduced to someone through your friends circle. Like that's, in my opinion, the best way. Meet someone through your friend circle. Meet someone that someone you know, whether that person's at church, at work, your friend circle. Meet someone that someone you know knows. Because that way you have some sort of history, some sort of vetting system. But dating apps, it's a gamble. And there is no way for these people to be vetted. And the dating apps, they don't vet people. They don't run them through any sort of system. There's no sort of real verification process. There's no background check. There is absolutely nothing. You are literally throwing yourself out into the deep water where there's sharks and stingrays and everything else out in that water. I really discourage people from using dating apps. And so does the author. She says, no, you should meet people through people you know. You should meet people through some sort of vetting system, because otherwise you're just being consumed like a product. And again, there's no vetting system. Number 8, marriage is good. And this is going to rub some gentlemen the wrong way, especially if you've been indoctrinated through the red pill. You've been indoctrinated through this new manosphere that says, oh, avoid marriage at all costs. Here's the thing you need to know. So if you're between the ages of 21 and 40, maybe 50, okay, to try to engage with women in a way, if you're between those age groups, that takes marriage completely off the table. If you have any intention of having children one day, if you have any intention of putting your name and your bloodline into the future, it is very destabilizing to do that without marriage. You are destabilizing our community, thinking that you're going to engage with women and have children with them at some point without the sanctity of marriage. So I don't see marriage as just a legal contract. I see marriage as a covenant. I see marriage as a higher spiritual coming together of 2 people. I truly believe in 2 people becoming one. So marriage is not something that I take lightly. Maybe other people do. And because I get it, men have told me this, they've been talking about this forever. Because of the new laws, the legal system, I get it. It does not favor men. It puts men through the ringer. I've never disagreed about that. And I'm going to talk more about that tonight when I review Rich Cooper's book. I've never disagreed about that. Yes, I think the laws do need to change. Yes, I think men need to advocate. I think women need to advocate. I think women like me who actually agree with men who say, the family law system is completely broken. I think we all need to advocate for better laws around marriage and children and all of that, for sure, 100%. 100%. However, it is unrealistic and destabilizing to our community, to our country as a whole, to think that we can remove marriage entirely. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. And I want you to see it like this. See it through the eyes of your children. That to remove marriage completely from the equation is not good for children. And it's not good for women, and it's not good for men. So, yes, marriage is good. And ladies, I want you to, again, make that the standard. Make marriage the standard again. Because look at where we've landed. This idea, this free love and anything goes and, give a man. There are women out here giving a man every benefit of marriage. And you wonder why men don't want to get married. Because why would they? Can I be honest? Why would a man in 2023 get married to a woman that's giving him everything that was once relegated to marriage? Why would he marry you? That's just common sense. No, he's not going to do that because he's getting all of his needs met from the relationship you all have. So, makes common sense to me. And the conclusion, listen to your mother. That is the final concluding chapter. And listen to your mother is basically a litany of advice that the author Louise Perry gives to young women. This book specifically written for women between the ages of 18 and 30. I believe every woman needs to read this book, but this message is especially for younger women. And she gives advice such as this. Vet a man very carefully. Vet a man for violence. Vet a man for addictions. Vet a man for pornography addiction. Don't put yourself in situations that could lead to sexual abuse or sexual assault. Do not get drunk with men around men you don't know, right? Do not get drunk or high around men you don't know. Things like don't use dating apps. Again, I know this is going to be hard for a lot of people to hear, but don't use dating apps to meet men because these men are strangers. Try to meet men that people know. Try to meet men that you can have some sort of friendship with or some sort of acquaintanceship with, and that other people know. Let those people give you reviews about that man. Because dating apps, you don't know that guy, and there's no way to know who he is, what he's about. What other great advice did she give in that chapter? So much good advice. Stop laying down with men, when you don't want to. Stop feeling pressured to have sex with men. Be authentic. Be your authentic self. Trust your gut. Trust your instinct. Trust your intuition. If something doesn't seem right, it isn't right. Get strong enough to walk away and stay away from men that give you that bad feeling, right? If something about it doesn't seem well within you, just don't do it. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was in my 20s, I did a lot of things. I went against my intuition. I trusted people I shouldn't have. I wasn't my authentic self. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to people please, especially, with men, but women too. And once I started to grow, once I started to mature, once I started to grow into who I was and really figure that out. Remember, I started this with go inside, develop insight, spend time with you. Get to know yourself. Tune into that intuition. Listen to that small voice inside of you. Once I started to do that, and I started to find my voice, and I stopped wanting to be liked, now I'd much rather be respected than be liked. Take the time you need to do that, because that is your protection. There is a mechanism inside of you, ladies, that will keep you safe. You have to turn it on. You have to be willing to disappoint some men. You have to be willing to disappoint some people. And you've got to be okay with that. Do what feels right to you. Stop laying down with men you don't know. Stop laying down with men who don't love you, who are not invested in you, who you're not in a commitment with or engaged to or married to or exclusive with. Stop doing that. Because 9 times out of 10, we make decisions like that because it's fun, because we're drunk or we're high or we're on vacation or whatever the excuse is. But after the fact, the aftermath of that is we don't feel good about ourselves. We feel ashamed. We feel guilt. We realize that, man, this person had the best part of me for nothing. For nothing. I gave away the best part of me for what? For nothing. So no. All right, I've been talking for a minute. I'm going to go back and look at some of your comments. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them, or you can put it in the comments, or you can use the little camera button with the plus. We have the freedom to do what we want as long as it's legal, but what's legal isn't always moral or smart. Precisely. That's exactly why she says some desires are bad. That's exactly why she says consent is not enough. Precisely. And here's the thing. People who know. People who are critical thinkers will understand what we mean by that. The Bible even says that the Bible says we have freedoms. God has given us a measure of free will, but the Bible also says that everything that we can do is not advantageous. It's not good for us. That's why it's important that we think critically, okay? There are consequences for all actions, good and bad. Precisely. But again, those who know. This platform that I have created is for critical thinkers. There are plenty of people that come on my platform. They do not have insight. They do not have, that critical thinking. They do not have respect for other people. And those people are going to be shown the door. I do not want to create a platform that creates a space for people who are disrespectful to others. I don't want any parts of that. I want to create a platform where people can have intellectual, respectful conversations. Okay, that's what my platform is all about. She says, right, not a flex at all. Yeah, the having casual sex, not a flex. Having sex like a man, it's foolish. It's foolish. And at the end of the day, sexual sin only hurts you. It only hurts you. That's why the Bible talks about that when we go out here and we commit sexual sin, the person who will be hurt most by that is us. We are sinning against ourselves. Yes, God is disappointed. He feels a way about it, but the person who's going to suffer the most is us. Trust me, I've been there. It's very likely that if a woman wants that in sex, there are emotional issues there for sure. That BDSM. Yeah. BDSM is fine as long as it doesn't involve choking. I say any of it, that it's a fine line. It's a really fine line. Okay. That would be so real and funny as hell. I assume this comment is about the reviews. That would be real. If you could have reviews on people on dating apps, that is the only way I would even possibly consider using a dating app. Because to me, like if we're going to treat people like products, like Amazon, thousands of reviews. Some of them are 5-star, some of them are 4, 3, 2, some of them are 1. And some of the things that people say in those reviews is probably really good information. So yeah, make that a requirement. There must be a verified ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-dating person reviewing you on your profile. That would change the game. Okay? All right. Red pill is now reverse liberal feminism. It is. It is. Men hating women, women hating men. To me, it's all the same. You're the same person. And here's the thing you need to know, and we're going to dive deeper into this tonight, is that there is a lot of information out there about female nature. There's a lot of information out there about hypergamy. And these are things to be understood by men, right? This is knowledge that I believe men should have, but it's when men take that knowledge, and because it's so upsetting to them, like they're not fully accepting the knowledge. Those are the men that you're seeing online that are lashing out and acting out because they're not critically thinking, they're not fully taking in. So if you're going to take the red pill, you can't leave it in your mouth, you can't let it choke you in your throat, you got to swallow it. You got to swallow it down and drink something behind it, okay? But a lot of men, they put the red pill in their mouth and that bitter taste, and then guess what comes out of that mouth? I hate women. How dare they want the absolute best man they can find? How dare they leave me because I'm no longer the best option? I took my foot off the gas pedal. How dare you leave me because I gained weight? How dare you leave me because I lost my job and wouldn't get another one? How dare you leave me because I want you to go 50-50 and I'm not going to do anything at home. I want you to help pay all these bills with me and I'm not going to help take care of our kids. I'm not going to clean up anything. I'm not going to do anything. How dare you? How dare you want to be out of that relationship? But the reality is, gentlemen, you need to take that pill. You need to swallow it whole. You need to drink it down with something. You need to really digest it. And once you do that in a masculine way, you will come to accept some truths. Just like I have come to accept some truths about men. Men want youth and beauty. How many times has a man landed on my page and come for me because of my age? And yet, I'm not mad. I'm just not for you. Okay? If you're not interested in a woman of my age, okay, I'm not mad about that. And I'm certainly not going to tell a man what he should want or what he should like. I have come to the realization that most men want youth and beauty. Okay? I can only provide the beauty. I am the age I am. And so if a man says to me, oh no, I don't want someone your age, okay. Why would I be upset about that? Why would I be mad about that? Thank goodness there are all kinds of men out there in the world that don't mind how old I am. That's not an issue for them. How about this? There are men far younger than me that are okay with it. And there's certainly men older than me that are okay with it. So, okay, that's nothing for me to be upset or mad about. Just like men want women who are fit, friendly, and feminine. Why am I upset about that? Why would I be angry about that? No, that's the truth. That's the truth, right? And my famous saying that I've been teaching women forever, be hard to get and easy to be with. Yeah, I'm not upset about that at all. So yes, there are certain things I understand about male nature, right? Men are not women. They never will be. And I'm okay with that. I use that knowledge to have good, healthy, wonderful relationships with men. And I want men to do the same. So ladies, understand about men and their nature and what they really want, what they're looking for, what they're about, especially good, healthy, masculine men. You don't need to be upset or angry about that. Yes, masculine men, high quality men, they want women who take good care of themselves. That's not anything to be angry about. Like, why would I be angry about that? I went on a 3-mile walk this morning and I had a gentleman pull his car over to the side of the road and ask me if I was married. And we had a 10-minute long conversation about, oh my gosh, you know, you look great and oh, this and that and yada, yada, yada. Take my number. Okay. That's what men want. They want women who take good care of themselves at any age. They want women who keep themselves up. That's it. That's it. Nothing to be upset about. Okay? Nothing to see here, as they say. All right. Okay. Let me see if I got any questions. I love how you try to fix the marriage dynamic in the Black community. Black women like you need more recognition. I thank you for what you're doing. Thank you so much. Anime King Day. Thank you. See, it's those type of people, though. I want more of that on my platform. I need more people who want to support something good. You want to support something positive, and marriage is something positive. It's something good. The marriage laws suck. That's what I wish more people would say. The laws and the courts and all of that sucks. I'm right there with you. I think a child needs its mother and its father. And I think marriages should be harder to get out of. And yes, I do not think women should be they should not be rewarded for leaving their marriage without a really good reason. 100%. I've been saying this forever. So I agree. But marriage in and of itself, between two healthy, polarized people, between two godly people, is amazing. It's what we need more of. But because we're not seeing that, everybody's getting on this, oh, marriage is a piece of paper bandwagon. Oh, marriage sucks. Marriage is awful. Marriage is bad. Our entire country, as we know it, was founded on the cornerstone of marriage. So, okay. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for the beautiful compliment. Yeah, he says if he wants fit, feminine, and friendly, he wants the best for you, and he wants the best for him. What are your thoughts on interracial relationships? I want you to find love. The end. I want you to find love. I don't care what package it's in. I don't care what race, ethnicity, what language it speaks, the culture. I don't care about any of that. I want you to find the best fit person for you. And that's what I'm open to. I'm open to the best person for me. And it does not matter what color it comes in. It does not matter how tall it is. It does not. Yes, I'd like for that man to be fit too, because I happen to be fit, but it does not matter. It does not matter. I want you to find the best person for you. And that is regardless of. And y'all, look, every time I go out, it's really funny. Every time I go out and I see a black man and he has a white woman or a non-black woman, he looks at me. It's almost like he's looking like, oh boy. And I give him a look back like, okay, you got love. Great. That's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's all I'm interested in. And then look, he lets out a sigh of relief because he thinks he's going to get, the side eye. He thinks I'm going to cut my eye. I'm not, like I said, bro, you're not my man. You found somebody to be with. You found somebody to love you and that you can love. You're not my man. Why would I side eye you? Like, carry on. And they have a sigh of relief. Like, whew, okay, she don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I want you to find your person. I'm patiently waiting for my person. And honestly, y'all, it don't matter what package they show up in, what language or none of that. I'm trying to find my person. I'm trying to find a man who can truly inspire me to be the best version of myself. I'm trying to find a man who is emotionally healthy, because that's the only type of man I can be with long term. That's it. There ain't many qualifiers. And honestly, if I pulled out my 3 lists, race and ethnicity is not even on it. It's not even on it because it's a non-factor. Okay, he said, I think what you said should be talked about more. Yeah. Thank you, Glenn. How do you navigate politics and dating? I don't. I'm going to be honest with you all, as a person of faith, as a Christian, I tend to be more conservative. But I really don't. I haven't been voting. I really don't navigate politics, because I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing here on earth that is going to fix what the troubles that the world is in. And I really believe that. Only God can do it. Only Jesus coming back can fix what we got going on here on earth. There is no political system. There's no political party. That's man. And he done made a mess of everything, and he don't have it in him to truly fix it. Maybe it's a temporary fix, but I really don't. I just need another person who loves God the way I love God, and wants to live righteous, and wants to be a good person, and live the way God wants us to live. That's it. I like the way how you keep it real. Thank you. All right. I think if a woman divorces a man, the man has to have done something wrong. Divorces are mainly done by women through mostly dissatisfaction in the marriage. So the man doing something wrong if his wife is not happy. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. It's Lee, Liynoy. I can't even begin to pronounce that. Liynoy. I'm going to be honest with you. I got a divorce 20 years ago when fault divorce, I want to say, had no fault divorce come on the scene. I can't remember. I have a divorce based on fault. I can pull out my divorce decree right now and it will say adultery. Plain as day. I fought for that. And I want to say, when I got a divorce 20 years ago, I think no fault divorce had come on the scene, but there were reasons in the state of Virginia. They were still reasons for divorce. And I fought for that reason, because that was the reason. And if I can be so honest, had my husband not continuously committed adultery, I would still be married to him right now. I would still be married to him to this day. And I even told people, did not matter if I was happy. Did not matter if, he wound up being a raging narcissist, and I'm talking narcissistic personality disorder, textbook DSM. Honestly, I would have probably stayed married to him, because that's how I was raised. That's what I knew, that I made a commitment. I made a decision. And, aside from, which in my world, the biblical reason for divorce is adultery. So had he not committed adultery, had he just been a jerk, I probably would still be married to him to this day. And now our children are grown, but I probably would still be married to him, because that's how serious I took my marriage vows. And it was only when the infidelity continued and continued and continued, and got very dangerous, that I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This isn't healthy. This isn't good for any of us. This isn't good. But my divorce decree, I would, maybe I could white out the names. I'd love to post it, because it says adultery. The judge gave me a divorce based on adultery. And I agree with you. There must be a valid reason to break a contract of that nature. There must be a valid reason. And just so you all know, there are lots of women that do have valid reasons. So people love to go off on a tangent about 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Okay, and now we need to break down those percentages. What percentage of those divorces are based on neglect or a man just clean running off? What percentage of those divorces are based on adultery? And I'm talking chronic adultery. What percentage of those divorces are based on physical abuse, emotional abuse? Now, if you don't know this about me by now, and I share this with my couples in couples counseling, the only valid reason to leave your marriage is a form of abuse. That's it. That's it. You must prove to a court of law that this marriage is abusive. Abusive by neglect, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, and infidelity is considered emotional abuse, financially abusive, spiritually abusive, verbally abusive. You must prove to a court of law that your marriage is abusive. That's what I believe the law should state. That should be the only reason why you are given a divorce, is that you are being chronically and consistently abused. And for the record, gentlemen, if you wanted a divorce, let's say your wife had not had sex with you in years, I consider that a form of neglect, which is a form of abuse. So yes, if you could prove to the court, Your Honor, my wife and I have not had sexual relations in 5 years, and I'm not going to rape her just because she's my wife doesn't mean, I'm going to, force her to have sex with me. But I am seeking a divorce based on sexual neglect. So yeah, that's what I believe. That's what I believe the law should, that's the only reason for you to be out of your marriage. But to wake up and say, oh, I've fallen out of love. Oh, I'm just not happy. No, that's not a reason in my mind for you to get a divorce. So I'm with a lot of the red pill men. I think the law should change. I think the only reason why a court of law should give you a divorce should be based on abuse of some kind. Okay? That's just me. And how about this? I think that whatever you have should be split down the middle. I think the children and the time with them should be split down the middle. So whatever you have financially, split down the middle. Whatever, children you have, time with them, split down the middle. See, everybody gets, split down the middle. Children need their father, children need their mother. And again, unless a parent can prove that the other parent is neglectful, is abusive, they would have to prove that in order to not have it go that way. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you all. There are a lot of parents out here that are neglectful and they are abusive. There are a lot of parents out here who don't want to parent their children. We're not talking about that enough. There are plenty of people, men and women. I've seen women run off. I've seen women run off and leave their children with the husband. Ran off with some other man. I have a case that I'm dealing with right now. So yes, it's a thing. But these are just my thoughts. These are just my thoughts. Got to take that covenant serious. I agree. So I not only believe it should be hard to get married. So here's another law that if I was in charge, I would institute. You come to the court and you want a marriage license. Oh, I need a certificate from a certified couples counselor that shows that you've been there 6 sessions. You've had 6 sessions of couples therapy. Oh, we haven't done that. Okay, well, come back when you have the certification. Come back when it's signed by certified couples counselor that you've had 6 sessions of couples therapy. I think that should be a law. I think nobody should be able to get legally married unless they've had 6 sessions by a licensed certified couples counselor or premarital counselor. That's just my thoughts. I got divorced back in 2003 because my wife said she wanted to find herself. She was really against getting a prenup. I don't know if you got a prenup with her. I'd be curious to know how that worked out. Did you get a prenup, and was the prenup held up? I'd be curious about that. Okay. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, I want us to be equitable and fair. Okay, I want us to be fair. So ladies, I want us to be fair to the gentlemen. Gentlemen, I want us to be fair to the ladies. That's what time I'm on, right? I don't pick sides. Yeah, I'm a woman. Yeah, I have my thoughts and my feelings about a lot of things. But guess what? I have been blessed with the ability to empathize. I have been blessed with a compassionate spirit for men, for women, and, for kids, everybody. So I don't pick sides. We all have our cross to bear. Men have their cross to bear. They have their work to do. Women have their work to do. It does not benefit anyone to run a divisive platform. Everyone gets hurt in that, and I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to bring people together, not pull them apart. I've been divorced since 2016 because he was unfaithful. Yeah, there you go. There is your legal reason. That's it. Marriage counsel, yes. No, we didn't get a prenup. A lot of arguments. She always claimed I never trusted, or she would say, I think she's going to use me. Yeah, like I love a good prenup. But now what the red pill community is saying is that, oh, the prenup is not worth the paper it's written on. Like I said, they have 1,000 loopholes. They're just pushing this don't get married narrative. And it is incredibly toxic. You know, that narrative is toxic and it's not good for children. So, I mean, what are you going to do? All right. If you don't have any other questions, I'm going to wrap it up here. My lives, I try to keep them under an hour. But if you don't have any other questions, I want to thank everyone who came into the room today. Thank you for having this wonderful conversation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. I believe these are the people who commented today, the people who shared their insight and shared their wonderful comments. These are the people who I want to have healthy, intelligent conversations with. These are the critical thinkers. These are the people who are open and, you want to share your thoughts and your feelings. You are the people that I made my platform for. Okay, so keep doing more of what you're doing. Keep growing, keep learning, keep listening, keep adding intelligence to the conversation. We need more people like you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me today on this live. I'm going to save it for everyone to look at. So for all of the hundreds of thousands of people who weren't able to join us live, put your thoughts and comments below. Let me know what you think about this conversation. Let's have more healthy dialogue around this conversation. Thank you so much for joining me on this July 4th. And as always, stay open to love.